Today I am making a vegan prosciutto. So I have all of the ingredients together. This prosciutto is going to be almost like making two recipes in one, but this is a super simple process. The first thing I'm doing in this recipe is making the fat for the prosciutto. So I'm going to mix together all of the fat ingredients into a dough ball. And the next thing I'm doing is making the meat portion of the prosciutto. And I'm doing the same thing that I did with the fat, but I'm just doing it with a little bit different ingredients, bringing them all together and blending them for the meat dough. Once you have both dough balls together, you need to have a mixture of letting the seitan dough sit and rest, so that way it activates the gluten fibers, so that way you get fibers that really work well. You need it to be somewhere between falling apart and rubber, right? And so it's easy for either of those to happen, so it's got to be just right. But the key really is kneading each dough ball for about 10 minutes and then letting it rest for a good 30 minutes. You have to, pull apart the meat into about 4 different sections, and then really you kind of have to knead it down, make it flat, then add on the layer of fat. But the fat, it gets a little bit more activated easily. It's a little bit more rubbery, but again, it's not like rubber. That's the trouble word. We're not looking for the rubber texture. But spread it out as best as you can, and just make layers between the and then just make layers between the meat and the fat. Okay, so the meat and the fat are layered up. Now it's time to roll it nice and tight. So I'm gonna roll it tight, and then from there I'm using a cheesecloth, and I'm going to tie the cheesecloth around it. To me, I feel that just gives it a little bit better result in the cooking process. Once the seitan is rolled up, it's covered in the cheesecloth. You want to slide it over so that way you can steam it for about 1 hour. Okay, so the seitan is steamed, and now I'm going to remove it from the steam. I'm going to cut off the cheesecloth, and I'm going to put it right in the freezer because I want it to cool pretty quickly, and I'm going to let it freeze for about an hour. This is going to certainly make it easier to handle. It's going to make it easier to cut. It's also going to help the gluten fibers as well kind of finish tightening up. And now it is time to finish off the prosciutto and just cut it in some slices. So overall, what I think about this prosciutto is that the flavor's fantastic, the texture's great, and it was very easy to work with. Because I cooled it down, I was able to hold it and just cut it with a knife. I cut it just right so that way it's thin slices. You don't want anything too big. You want it to be real thin, and you can use it in all sorts of different ways. You can put it on pizzas. You can make sandwiches out of it. Or you could put it on a little plate and enjoy it with some other ingredients, some cheeses, some nuts, things like that, and it'll be absolutely fantastic. So I like the individual flavors of the fat and the meat, and then together they both really kind of activated well with each other, just heightening the ingredients and the flavors for each. But it's really cool to see how the fat mixed in the meat and gave you that little bit of a marble effect, which is certainly important when you're making a meat that has the fattiness. I don't think that you have to have that marble look in it, but the key is that how else are you going to bring out those flavors? So sure, you could add those flavors into the meat portion, but then you're just combining everything together, and is it still going to have the same effect? So, and I'm not certain, but this was certainly a delicious prosciutto. I could certainly see myself making it again. Overall, it was pretty easy, but you're left with a good vegan alternative to prosciutto that you can certainly enjoy right in the comfort of your own house and have fun playing around with these ingredients and making some vegan meat yourself. And make sure you come back soon, because I have some more great recipes and some great things to share with you, because I'm your friend with food benefits. I'll see you again real soon.